I look like a nerd, I'm gonna take these off. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's currently 11 PM and I decided to film a video because I'm in the mood to. I didn't really know what I wanted to film. I just got into this mindset of wanting to film a video, which I've been trying to get into that mindset for the last like 3 days because I knew I needed to record something. So I'm glad that I finally got there. So I decided to do a little Q&A because whenever I go live or anything, you guys always have a bunch of questions and always ask me if I can do a Q&A, so I thought I could just do one that I actually posted. So I asked you guys on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I recommend you do if you want to get like interactive with these videos, because whenever I ask for like questions or anything, it's always over there. I just said make them interesting, ask what
from JL's iPhone.
That needs turning down. So yeah, I just said ask whatever you want basically, and I'm just gonna answer. Number 1 is what's your type? People assume because I'm more like masculine and apparently I give the vibe of like 100% dominant top person, people think that I would be into femmes, but they're wrong because my type is actually other masculine butch girls. So masculine, tomboy style, good music taste is actually very attractive. Are you a top, bottom or switch? Not everyone is going to get this term and I think people get confused by it unless you're gay. I'm not going to give context, but I'm a switch. Wait. What made you want to get lots of tattoos and piercings? Well, I just found a love for body mods. It literally just started with me piercing my nose with a safety pin back in summer last year. That was the first piercing I had that wasn't an earlobe piercing, and it brought me so much joy just to have a more interesting piercing, and then I was like, I want something else, and then it just kept going. And in the meantime, I found the love for doing piercings, receiving piercings, going into studios, watching piercing videos and professional piercers, and I just found a love for the industry. Tattooing, I've always liked tattoos, and when I realised you could do them yourself, I thought that was really, really cool and interesting, and yeah, I mean, one of my friends had stick and pokes and that's what got me into it. Do you still sing Angel Wings? I'm guessing you mean like on live performances. Yes, I still put that song on my set. I do cut off quite a lot of my older songs now, and I'm actually just getting to a point where my set lists for gigs are 100% songs that I'm happy with and like, and that's really like a nice feeling because it took me a while to get there because there was always songs on the set that I put on there because they were my songs, but that I didn't really like anymore. Obviously I used to, but like, I don't know, they just feel a bit shit now. Whereas now I just feel like I've got a really good selection of music that is my style now and how I want my music to sound and feel. Angel Wings was my first good song I ever wrote, and so obviously it's gonna be 2 years old this year. It's not one of my best songs, but it also has such a special place in my heart and a special place in other people's hearts that I wouldn't cut it off. Do you still cry over your dad sometimes? Yes, I do still cry over my dad sometimes. I think that's very, very normal. I think everyone cries over grief sometimes. It isn't as often as it used to be, which is obviously a really, really good thing, and that means I'm healing from it, but I still think about him every day, of course. I still miss him so, so much. That's never gonna go away. I've just learnt to live around it. But yeah, every so often, like, you know, it was my dad's birthday 3 days ago now, 2 days ago. And Father's Day is also really, really hard because there's all the like dad things everywhere. What type of schooling do you do or don't you do any? So up until a couple of weeks ago, I wasn't doing schooling. I'm not going to talk super publicly about my school life because I don't feel like it's necessary, but I do get people's interest in it. Quite often people are interested as well because they're in a similar situation with mental health where they don't feel they can attend public school, but they don't really know what other option there is. So I haven't been properly to public school in 3 years, which is when my dad got diagnosed. I've been in and out of my old school and then also like another little kind of hub place which is for people who can't go to mainstream school, but that isn't permanent. That's kind of like a way to get you back into a school environment and then back to mainstream, and we said ages ago with my therapist that it was unlikely I'd ever get back into mainstream school because of how my mental health is and because it is pretty severe. So we've been trying to find an alternative option for a long, long time, and it has been complicated. Finally, literally this coming week, hopefully, or the following one, I'll be starting online schooling. And that is a permanent solution now. I'm not going to be going back to high school. I'll be doing online schooling, and then when it comes to my time of doing GCSEs next year, because this online schooling is going to be everything I need for my GCSEs. When it comes to GCSE time, I can make the decision as to if I kind of feel ready to do my GCSEs, and if so, I can go to my old school to take the GCSEs. but not in the big hall with everyone else. It'll be in like a separate room, but it'll be with one of the people you have to be with for the exams. So yeah, it's kind of all resolved now. That is like quite in depth, but I feel like it's not oversharing because I think people are just genuinely interested and I don't mind sharing about it. How long have you had mental health issues and what started them? I've had mental health issues actually pretty much as long as I can remember, my entire life. I didn't get diagnosed till 2018, but I literally had them my entire life due to many factors. My emetophobia, which is kind of the lead of my mental health, came from nothingness. There wasn't any traumatic event that kicked off my emetophobia. I just kind of have always had it and I don't really know why. Do you want a girlfriend? Yes, obviously. On that subject, have you ever been in love? Yes, I have. I used to think that I was in love, but I was questioning it. I was like, am I in love? Am I in love? I don't know, maybe I am. Oh, I think this is love, or maybe it's not. When I actually fell in love for the first time, it wasn't the best circumstance. I'm yet to have a good circumstance with it, but when I fell in love for the first time, I was like, oh, that's what it feels like. What's one piercing that you're really afraid of getting? I'm quite freaked out about my rook and my daith. Do you smoke / have you smoked before? I have smoked before. I've never like taken it up as a habit. I used to vape, but I stopped very quickly because I just didn't like smoking. What is your next tattoo? Well, I have a couple of ideas, but I don't know if I can do them myself, so I might have to wait until I'm old enough to go and get them done professionally. We will have to see, but I don't want to tell my ideas yet. What's your favourite original? I actually think my favourite original is Young With You now. I'm so happy with that song, and I'm currently in pre-production for it because I'm going into the studio for the first time ever to professionally record, and it's going to be so good, and Young With You is the song I'm recording. Someone's just put piercing scar ... Yes, I know, piercing scar. I don't give a shit anymore. I used to care about piercing scarring, but now I've just realised, like, what award do you actually get if you die with no scars? Scars are a sign you've lived, and there's not actually any issue with them. How do you sleep on your ears? I had my cartilage pierced 6 months ago and it still hurts. 6 months is still probably like it's still healing at that point, so I wouldn't worry too much. Sometimes they can be painful for a while to sleep on. It's best not to sleep on them, but I know that can be hard. I don't have issues sleeping on my ears. Even when I had my helix, I didn't really have too much issue. I tried to sleep on the other side, but if I wanted to turn to the side it was on, I'd kind of sleep like this, so my ear was like not touching the pillow. Or since I'm getting more ear piercings soon, I literally bought today a travel pillow because they're really good to sleep on when your ears are healing. Because again, it's a similar idea. You can just put your like ear in the hole. Do you have sleep trouble? Not particularly. I used to have insomnia and I was on medication for it back in 2018, but it hasn't been too bad. Are you full vegan now? If so, what made you go vegan? I'm not full vegan. I don't want to take that label. I haven't eaten meat the whole of this year. In fact, I can't remember the last time I ate meat. I don't eat dairy because I'm lactose intolerant. The only thing I still eat which is not vegan is eggs, so I can't take the label vegan because I do still eat eggs. But apart from that, I'm fully vegan. One of my New Year's resolutions was to eat as vegan as possible, but I didn't actually expect myself to be able to do it quite so easily. Obviously I did it for like environmental reasons, but I also did it because I genuinely find eating a plant-based diet makes me feel better in myself. I'm not one of these vegans that really pushes it in people's faces. I mean, most people, unless they're cooking for me or they're like a close friend, don't even know that I'm meat-free. I don't push it out everywhere because I don't want to be one of these people that makes other people hate vegans. And I know some people are super pushy about it, but I'm not that kind of person. Have you ever struggled with your gender identity? Not particularly. I've never like had a genuine gender crisis. I've had like little thoughts of like, am I definitely a girl? And then I'm like, yeah, I am. I don't have any kind of dysphoria. I'm confident. I'm happy as a girl. So no, not really. Would you ever dye your hair rainbow? Oh my god, yes. I wish I'd done this when I bleached my hair. Do you answer your DMs? Just wondering because I want to ask you something. Everyone always feel free to DM me. I'm not the best responder because now I do get quite a lot of messages. So I respond to as much as I can, but sometimes I'm not in the right mindset to answer, and so then I won't be answering DMs much. But always feel free to DM me and I will pick it up and I will read it. Whether I respond or not just depends on mindset and how many messages I'm getting that day, but I'll always try my best. How many piercings do you have and which is your fave? I've got 11 piercings. My favourite is my septum probably, and I reckon my brow ties in pretty much, maybe like very slightly less, but it's like pretty much equal. What is one weird fact that's changed the way you see things? Wow, what a good question. I think learning the fact that your mental health can have such an effect on your physical health changed how I saw things. When I get really mentally drained, I get so physically drained as well, and my whole body just aches and I just feel so ill. It's so crazy to learn that your mind can do that to you, that you can have nothing physically wrong with you, but that because your mental state and your brain is so cluttered, that can like make you feel so physically unwell as well. And it's not a fact, but shaving my head definitely changed my outlook, because I kind of learnt the fact with that beauty is so not what we perceive it as, it's literally just whatever you perceive it as. What's your favourite septum ring? Also, I'm thinking of buzzing my head. Should I do it? Yes, you should do it. Oh my god. Don't even question it. I questioned it for so long and I'm so glad I did it. I have no regrets at all. I am growing it out, but I'm very, very glad I did it. And I'm not growing it out because I don't like it. I'm just growing it out because that was always my intention. Favourite septum ring is the one I have in right now, which is this little rainbow one. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? I wish I had a better jawline. I know that some people think I have a good jawline, but quite often it is like just not there. I've always hated my arms. I've always thought they were just like stick arms. So I work out now, which has helped a little bit because they've like built up a little bit, but not much. I kind of wish they were better, but working out will probably help. And I changed my mental health, of course. I just wish I could live without my anxiety because it limits me so much, and I feel like half the time I can't show my true self because I'm just surrounded by anxiety. What advice would you give to someone who's thinking about coming out to their friends? My advice would be 100% do it. If they react badly, that's not something wrong with you, that's something wrong with them, and you don't want to be friends with them anyway if they're assholes. Did you get any weird reactions of friends when you came out? I didn't, it was so shitty. I'm very sorry that you had that experience. Apart from people thinking I'm telling them because I fancy them, no, I haven't had any bad reactions. I'm very grateful for that. Last one is advice for someone wanting a piercing. Just go for it. I often get asked like, oh, did that piercing hurt? And I think you have to just expect a little bit of pain going into it because obviously you're putting a needle in your body. But if you really want the piercing, it's so worth it. And I know some people who have like wanted a piercing for like 20 years and still haven't done it out of fear of the pain. And it's like, that pain's gonna last literally a few seconds. It's gonna be a pinch. And then if you get a little bit of pain afterwards, you can take tablets and you can ice it and eventually it will go off. The pain doesn't last long. Most piercings, it lasts a few seconds. Other piercings, it might ache a little bit afterwards for a bit, but it will be worth it if you wanted the piercing. Things like brow piercings do reject, but say like septum, that's not going anywhere. You'll probably get to keep that then for the rest of your life. Or like my mum's got a nostril pierced and has had that done for ages and she has never had to re-pierce it or anything. Once you go through that little bit of pain, you've got it and it's done. Why not? Honestly, YOLO, don't waste your life thinking about doing something, just do it. Anyway, this is 30 minutes of footage I'm gonna have to edit and I think that's long enough, but thank you for watching this video. I've really enjoyed just doing a little chill video this evening, and sorry about this lighting with the lines going down the screen. That's just like, it's the best lighting I could get at this time. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video and I'll see you all next time. Mwah. Goodbye.